Hello, welcome to Religion 110 New Testament Survey at Presbyterian College. I'm Craig Vondergeest, and I'm going to be your instructor of the course during this term. I'm glad that you have taken it, and I hope that throughout the course your interest in the New Testament will increase and you will feel like you have learned a lot about this very important material by the time we get to the end. Since the online course format is a little bit different than some of us may be used to, I thought it would be a great idea for me to take a few minutes to explain to you some of the technical aspects about how this course will work and to go through some of the requirements and procedures that we will be following. In particular, let me take a few minutes to give you a tour of those course procedures, and especially the Moodle page, which you have found right now if you are watching this video. Then secondly, we'll go through the syllabus and we'll summarize some of what we'll be doing throughout the semester, what we'll be learning, and what some of the course requirements will be. And then finally, I'll give you a few tips for success for surviving a compressed course in an online format. To begin with then, as you are already aware, all of the material for this online class is going to be posted on Moodle. At the top of the Moodle page, we're going to have the syllabus right here. Simply click on the link and you will be able to open it. And then following that, you'll notice that the course is divided into days. So all of the things that you will be doing is going to be separated out by days, so you will know what needs to be done on each day. The first thing I would encourage you to do every day when you sit down to start working on the course is to open up the document that is going to be called Introduction to Day 1 or Day 2 or whatever it is. If you click on it, it will come up, and this page is going to give you a brief description of what we're going to be doing that day, and is going to summarize for you the assignments that you will need to complete. For today, for instance, you'll notice that there are some pages to read out of the textbook. Corey refers to the textbook. There are 2 video lectures to watch. One is Introduction to the Course, and the other is Introduction to the New Testament. In fact, it is Introduction to the Course that you are watching right now. And then finally, there is a homework assignment or a worksheet that you will complete and upload to the Moodle site. There is going to be one of these homework assignment sheets with questions that you will answer through every day of the course, and so please get used to looking at that and preparing to hand that in. In fact, let's talk about that a little bit now. To access the assignment, you will go down to this link entitled Day 1 Assignment, and you will notice that right here at the top is a link to the assignment itself. When you click on it, it will download to your computer, and you can open it up in your word processor, and then please write the answers under the questions. Some of the answers will be fairly short, and some of them will be more involved and will involve some writing. But just to show you how to submit this assignment, let me pretend that we have answered this question. Okay, and once you have answered all of the questions, I want you to save the assignment to your hard drive. And so, okay. And let's give it a title. You can title it whatever you want, and now it is saved on the computer. Now, to submit the assignment, when you are back here on this link to the assignment, you will click down here under Add Submission. You will click on the honor code statement, and then you can simply open it up in your Windows Explorer and drag it and drop it in the box. Or if you don't want to do that, if you would rather, you can click on it this way and click Choose File, and then it will open your Explorer for you and you can get to it in that manner. Okay. And then when you have dropped and dragged it or clicked on it in the Explorer, hit Save Changes. Okay. And it says submitted for grading, and that means you've submitted the assignment for me. Sometimes people try to email assignments to me, but I strongly prefer that you do it this way. If I'm getting emails every day from 25 different students, there's no way I'm going to efficiently be able to figure out who has submitted what. But if you do it this way, I can click on a page from my end, look at what you've submitted, enter your grade, and it will go much faster for all of us, and it will ensure that you get proper credit for everything that you have submitted. Now, what I would encourage you to do is look at the assignment before you start listening to the lectures and doing some of the reading for the day. The answers to the questions in the assignment will all come from the lectures and from the reading assignment. So if you look over those questions before you start listening to the lectures and doing the reading, you will know what kinds of things you are supposed to be looking for, and I think you will find that it will take less time that way. Let's go on and take a few minutes just to talk about the syllabus and highlight and summarize some of the things that are going to be involved in the course. I've got my cell or text number and my email at the top of the page. During the course, I'll be checking email several times a day and should be able to get back to you with answers to your questions fairly quickly. So I would strongly encourage you to ask me if you have any questions, get in contact with me. One of the challenges of being online is that we don't have those regular face-to-face meetings in the classroom, so please be intentional about communicating through email instead. I've given you a description of the course as well as the learning objectives. We are going to, through this course, learn to describe the basic content of the New Testament. We will recount the history of the New Testament period and relate it to the New Testament, and we will explain and analyze the literature and theology of the New Testament. In other words, what are some of the religious outlooks that these writers are attempting to promote? Two required textbooks. The first is by Catherine Corey. It is entitled A Voyage Through the New Testament. I have sent an order for that book to the school's online bookstore, and so I hope that you will get it as soon as possible. If you have not been able to order it, for the first few days I'm going to upload the assignment in case it has not come in, so you will be able to access it through Moodle. You'll notice that I also say that you need a Bible. I suggest using the NRSV translation, which stands for New Revised Standard Version. I don't absolutely require it. In fact, sometimes it's good to get some variety in the class. However, the NRSV is what I will be using as I teach the course and as I make up the tests, and so it will be the closest to what you will require to do in terms of coursework. I put the HarperCollins Study Bible on the bookstore as a recommended resource. It's a good one because it has good notes at the bottom of the page. The New Oxford Annotated is another good one that you might consider. You can also read the Bible online at BibleGateway.com, and there are many translations on that page, and so it will allow you to put the translations right next to each other and compare and contrast them. I would encourage you to get a book version of the Bible to have open in front of you as we are going through the course. And part of the reason for that is that that will enable you to mark in your Bible the passages that I refer to in the video lectures, because those are the verses that will be focused on most strongly in the tests. I also find that it's generally just easiest to read it in book form rather than on the screen. So I explain the procedures that each day. Again, you will begin with a document that is called Introduction to Day 1, or whatever day it's called, which will summarize all of your assignments. The lectures that you will watch will be accessed simply by clicking the link on the Moodle site as you have for this one. So remember to keep, in terms of requirements, remember to keep up with your reading assignments. The reading assignments from the Bible are always mandatory. And then there are going to be reading assignments from the textbook as well. Those will be mandatory on the first 3 days of the class when we are looking at some historical information. For days 4 and following, when we actually get into the biblical material itself, those textbook readings are suggested as a source of additional clarification. However, it's the assignments from the Bible that are most important. The tests and the homework assignments and the quizzes will all be based on the biblical material itself, especially the biblical material that I talk about in the lectures. Okay, homework assignments and quizzes, like I said, will be based on the readings, and then there will be 3 exams scheduled throughout the course. The first one will be in just a few days, and it will cover the historical background information that we'll be going through at the beginning. It will consist of only 20 to 25 multiple choice questions. Exam 2 will cover the Gospels. It will have both multiple choice questions as well as an essay you'll hand in, and Exam 3 will be similar in format to Exam 2. And then here on this part of the page, I list the breakdown of how the grading is going to be done. And then finally, at the end of the course, we're going to have the course schedule. This course schedule will celebrate the topics and the reading assignments. However, it's not going to have the homework assignments and so forth on it, or the quizzes, so you will need to access those through the separate introductions that I introduce under each day. Okay, so hopefully that will be an adequate introduction to the Moodle site, to the course procedures, and to the syllabus. Again, please contact me if you have any other questions. Finally, let's talk just a little bit about what might be some good tips for doing well in a compressed online class. First of all, please do not get behind. I remind students that if you get real busy, if you are sick, if you get behind during the regular semester when there are 15 weeks, if you miss 1 week, it's probably not that big a deal because you've missed 1/15 of a course. However, if you miss a week during the summer term, you have missed 1/4 of a course, which is like missing a month during the semester, and it will be very hard to catch up. So please do not let these assignments slide. Make sure you are working on things every day. Secondly, try to simulate, this should say just the regular classroom, not the online classroom, as well as you can. In other words, just as when you come to class, you take notes on your lectures, I hope that you will do the same thing if you're listening to them here on the classroom. Have your Bible open in front of you as you listen to the lecture, because I will make frequent references to the passages. And being able to read the passages as I talk about them and follow along is going to help you learn the material much more effectively. Third, pay attention and avoid distractions. When you are in the classroom at college, you're not having conversations with your friends, your pets, your parents, and listening to TV while you're working on the course. And I would encourage you to follow the same policy for yourself in an online environment. If you are doing and focusing on nothing except the material on the screen, I think you will find that it will go a lot better. Third, take advantage of all the technology. There are certain disadvantages to doing online courses, but one of the advantages is that you can always rewind it and listen again if you miss something, or you can listen to an entire lecture more than once. Fourth, again, survey each day's requirements before you get started. The first thing you should do is open the document entitled Introduction to Day 1. Look at it and see what you will need to get done for that day. The second thing you should do each day is open up the homework assignments. Look over the questions so you know what to be keeping an eye on when you listen to the lectures and when you do the readings. And finally, again, contact me if you have any questions. I will be more than happy to help. I am thankful that you have decided to take this course. I am looking forward to getting to know you better and looking forward to reading all of your work. I pray that and hope that you will have a great summer and that you will call me if you have any questions. Thanks, and please continue on with the next video for day 1.